Following on from all of the controversy following the delay of the Black Ops 7 Zombies marketing, Treyarch has just officially responded, not only acknowledging it, but giving us a brand new gameplay teaser image. So we're going to dive into everything that's been going on, keep you guys up to date, and break down this brand new gameplay image that we've got, because we might have to wait a little while before we get our Black Ops 7 Zombies reveal. If you're living under a rock, we posted a video yesterday, and there was a lot of info from that has gone viral over on Twitter, which showcases that originally in the COD pod that was live from Gamescom, Activision officially stated that Black Ops 7 was getting its full Zombies reveal in just a few weeks' time, and that it was such a big reveal that Zombies needed its own Zombies reveal week, and that was what we were expecting. And everything that I was told at Treyarch, as well as on the PlayStation official blog, was that it was going to be early September. All of the official Activision blog stated that in just a few short weeks we'll get the full reveal, and even Kevin Drew said that within the direct, that the full reveal for Zombies is only just a few weeks away. As mentioned in my video yesterday and by many people, now we are in the second week of September. This is the last week where it is termed early September, and once we finish this week, it is no longer early September. So if we weren't getting anything this week, then technically they were no longer correct with what they were saying. And it's never usual for Activision and Treyarch to say something, especially on a timing, and then suddenly that timing just completely change and stay radio silent on it. We covered it here on the channel. We went through a bunch of avenues on what could have happened, but Treyarch have officially acknowledged this and have come out with a statement to tell us exactly what's happening when we're getting the reveal, as well as a brand new gameplay image. So they've gone ahead and posted on their socials the words following: "Hi, we'll have plenty to share on Zombies starting next week, and there's more than we can fit into just a week. Needed some extra time to cook up something special." So here we go. They've confirmed to us that we are 100% getting Black Ops 7 Zombies marketing and reveals starting next week. So nothing this week, so we no longer have to wait around every single day like myself and a lot of you have been as well, to see if there's anything that's going to happen. You know, it's like that meme of like prodding something with a stick, being like, do something please, every time it rolls to the usual marketing time. So next week we are officially getting the marketing. So Monday the 15th of September onwards, get that in your calendars, because it's going to be a very busy week. We're going to have all the coverage here on the channel, so make sure you subscribe. But they've mentioned that there is more here than what they can fit into just a week, which is very interesting, because that sounds like we're not getting just a week of it. We could be getting more than a week. It's quite ambiguous there with their wording, so I'm not going to take it with too much where I'm going to be like, yes, we are 100% getting 2 weeks of Black Ops 7 Zombies. We're definitely getting a fair amount here. I said there's more than we can fit into just a week, so that's very interesting. But clearly they've acknowledged that there was a delay, something has changed, because their wording of needed some extra time to cook up something special means that whatever they were planning to do starting this week, they have changed their plans, they've changed course on that, and they need more time in order to perfect what they're going to be pushing and rolling out, which I think is very interesting, because obviously I've been to Treyarch last month. I got to see and play the game. Obviously there is very limited amount of information that I can tell you right now, but regards to this delay, at least from what it feels like to me, it feels like that maybe they've taken some of the feedback that was received at the event last month, as well as what was received from the initial reveal and what's been spoken about, and maybe they might be changing some things last minute, potentially actually in the game itself, in order for it to cater more to the feedback that they've been hearing, so that when things are revealed, they're revealed either in a more clearer way, in a better way, or the actual sort of systems and content might be slightly different than what we got to see last month, in order to cater more to that feedback. And if that is the case, then that is very, very good news. I mean, we already saw yesterday that Treyarch are going back and actually redesigning all of the Vault Operator skins based on the feedback that has been given online so far about the initial designs, that they look a bit too zany, a bit too weird, a bit too cartoony. So they're redesigning that. So clearly they're listening to feedback here. And it might be a case that they've actually listened to the feedback from the initial Zombies reveal and changing some things to sort of cater more to that feedback, so that more people are happy and more satisfied with what they are revealing and the ultimate end product, which I think is a very, very big thing that we need to acknowledge here. And also the fact that Treyarch have communicated this, bear in mind, this is maybe a day after the initial sort of rumblings about this online, so I commend them that they've had 24 hours since and they've already gone ahead and communicated about this. As I mentioned yesterday, definitely is a case that they need to nip it in the bud sooner rather than later so that more speculation doesn't grow. So a big W there from Treyarch, and all I can say here is if Treyarch are watching the video, please do more communication like this. I'm sure there is a lot that goes into any type of communication in regards to what they can say, exactly how it's worded, when they can post it, etc. But more communication like this, more transparency is very welcomed in the community. I know I'd love to see it. I'm sure you guys would. But obviously, this is a W for transparency communication. And I really hope that it continues and only grows from here, because the BO6 communication was a bit hit and miss. There were sort of, you know, rises and falls in the communication department. But enough of that. Let's go into the new teaser image that they revealed, because that's also very exciting as well. Right here, we have this image, which obviously is quite inconspicuous. There isn't really a ton of things we can make out, but you might be looking at this thinking, what on earth am I looking at here? Am I looking at some sort of big metallic object that is chained up? We've got sort of like tendrils of some sort of like octopus or something like that. What could this be? Well, if you haven't worked it out already, this is very clearly the windshield and the top bumper of the Wonder vehicle itself. Now, obviously, we know from the community blog about a week or so ago, they announced that some of the details that we'd be getting for Zombies would include more details about the Wonder vehicle. And right here, we are seeing the first sort of really up close, high definition look at the Wonder vehicle. And it's clearly chained up right now. There's tendrils going around it. It's hard to tell if it's chained up and it's actually like visibly like chained to something on the map and it needs to be unchained. It needs to be some sort of activity that we do so we can gain access to it, or if this is what it looks like at its default and this is just a much more high quality look at it, because we've got chains that are on the front, we've got these tendrils that are going up and around the bonnet and the windshield. But if we compare that to the initial images that we've been revealed to show, which showcases the Wonder vehicle, we can see that it doesn't really have any of those specific details on the front of it. There are no chains going up the bonnet, at least from what we can see, and there are no octopus tendrils. So I'd like to lean more to this being some sort of state that the Wonder vehicle begins in. We have to obviously get it out of this state so that it is actually usable. That's just my own interpretation. I don't know how the Wonder vehicle works from its first instance when you discover it. That was details that were not shared to me at Treyarch, so I have no idea. But clearly this is a very high quality image that looks like it could be a frame from a gameplay trailer. It's worth me saying as well, whilst at Treyarch, we were not shown any Zombies gameplay trailers or anything like that. So what this is part of is something I have not seen, no other creators have seen, but clearly this looks like it could be some sort of in-game cinematic or some sort of shot from a gameplay trailer, which if it is, then that means that that is also something that we are going to be getting next week, which is very exciting. At the moment, we can't really see if there's any sort of driver. Obviously, we will be driving it ourselves, but there was some theories about Ted maybe potentially being part of this, that maybe he could drive it. We also saw at Treyarch an image of this upgraded where it had a Magua head, Abomination head. I'm getting my words confused here. Absolutely an Abomination head, not a Magua head, although I wish it was. But the tendrils kind of give me Magua vibes. So could we be seeing a more upgraded version of it here in this image? I don't really know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know down below in the comments, where we can see that the background vista, we can see some bushes, some trees, we can see that dark blue, we can see a bit of light pouring in. This looks really eerie and really creepy, almost a bit like Terminus, but with a blue purple color palette rather than a green. So far the vibes look very good color palette wise. Obviously this is such a small look at the overall map, so there really isn't much to go off here. We can see blues, we've got some red light that's sort of glowing on the tentacles there. So overall this is a cool teaser image. Maybe we might get more this week leading up to next week, but at least Treyarch have now come out and confirmed exactly when we're getting the BO7 Zombies Reveal. If you enjoyed the video and you found it informative, please drop it a thumbs up. Please go ahead and support the channel, as I really would appreciate it. And make sure you don't miss any updates when it comes to Black Ops 7 Zombies, including its reveal marketing next week. Hit that subscribe button down below.